going to share, aren't you, John? Because that is magnificent.
Yeah, I'm going to share Painshill Park with you and some other locations that you may not be aware of in the next few minutes. This is a wonderful location, this. Within an hour of London, so you've got pretty big populations just around in the southeast of England. Designed in the 18th century by Charles Hamilton, he wanted to create what he called living paintings, and it really is absolutely magnificent. Visitors have been able to return here since the beginning of the easing of lockdown. But of course, what we found, especially when lockdown was at its strictest right at the beginning back in those early months, was that people were encouraged to take that one form of exercise a day. So important, of course, as we know, for our mental health, that green health that is talked about very often, to get out into the natural environment. But often people were finding things they never even knew were there, those hidden gems. I've been to see one elsewhere in this county, not far away, that I think you'll find quite surprising.
You suddenly turn the corner and you see the statues, and this at the time of year that we came, there was beautiful meadow flowered all the way around, but it was absolutely lovely.
It was beautiful. We arrived and there were just daisies everywhere, with the statues peeking out.
They have a poignancy about them because they're so majestic, really, in a way. And you look at them and it's almost eerie, really.
This is called the Regiment of Trees, on parade within one of the Woodland Trust's First World War centenary woods. It's just a stone's throw from the famous Epsom racecourse in Surrey, but many local people don't know it's here.
There's no one here. I don't think many people know about it, but I definitely found it because I just had a bit more time on my hands over lockdown. So I just wanted to explore a bit more of my local area and walked and eventually found it.
If it wasn't lockdown, I probably wouldn't have come because I didn't really like walking that much.
We've done a lot of walking in lockdown. I'd heard about it a while ago when they were putting in the trees, and I just thought, wow, that looks really good. We've never been able to get here, and after seeing it on Instagram, I was like, oh, we have to go.
I've stopped working, so I've got a bit of time, but it's certainly, I don't think we'd have heard about it because people wouldn't have been talking about it as much if it hadn't been for lockdown.
The sculptures depict an inspection parade of 20,000 men at a nearby base in 1915. While filming, we bump into the sculptor.
So many men had signed up as volunteers that there just wasn't enough equipment to go around. So the men that are in the front row were fully equipped with uniforms and the full equipment and rifles, and then as the rows go back they get less and less equipment and uniform, and then the chaps at the back are standing there in their civilian dress. And I wanted them to have a haunting presence so that it gave a sense of place when people come across them.
And just down the road, another natural wonder that seems to have come into its own this year. Priest Hill was once overgrown and abandoned, but now its 86 acres have been reclaimed for nature and for nature lovers.
But I've noticed there have been a lot more people coming out with their families or using the reserve as a green gym because everyone's gym has been shut down. And it's just been really nice to see families connecting with each other and connecting with nature at the same time. And I've been able to stop and chat to the bird watchers and see what they're looking at. And everyone actually became a bird watcher. So it's just been a magical place to be.
It's often been hard to find the positives in this pandemic, but reconnecting with our natural environment, especially if it's right on our doorstep, has been vital in so many ways. So back here at Painshill Park, it gets around 130,000 visitors a year. So not exactly a secret garden, but magnificent, as you can see, and not everybody knows about it, of course. Tracy, good morning to you. Tracy Hyder, you're now a volunteer here, but you'd never been here before until recent months. What brought you here?
So I did a lot of volunteering when lockdown started. I wanted to do something for the community, but I realised that I was at home for 7-8 hours of the day working at home. I needed to get out. I needed something to make me go outside, and this is what I found.
And what does this place mean to you now?
This is my sanctuary now. So when I come to volunteer, although I'm helping, I'm actually doing something for my own well-being, really. So I spend 3.5 hours, I wander around, do 10k, and the world just disappears. It's lovely.
Music when you're wandering around? Or?
No music, just the sound of the trees, the birds. I think my friends are bored of my videos, to be fair.
Sharing them with them. And what is it, do you think? Were you the kind of person that would have gone on those long walks a few months ago, 6 months ago?
I mean, I grew up with my dad always taking us on walks and we hated them. But now I absolutely love them and I yearn for it. So when I'm at home working, I just can't wait for the weekend to be able to come out and do my walks.
And I suppose, what is it here? It's the quiet, it's the space. Explain to me. How does it make you feel?
Do you know what? It's a bit of everything, really. There is places where you can come where there are people, so if you want to be around people, if I'm at home all the time alone and I want to be around people, I can. But I can also find a secret little place up by the Hermitage in the peace and quiet, and it's just me and nature.
Because here, for example, you've got grottos and you've got different follies and all sorts of different things
there
to explore.
Are so many things to see.
And you're still finding new things
all
to see?
All the time. You have to choose what you're going to look for every day, otherwise you're just going to be taking photos the whole time.
OK. Tracy, thank you very much indeed for sharing your experiences with us this morning. One of the other interesting things, talking to organisations such as the Woodland Trust, the Wildlife Trusts in each county around the UK, and also National Trust as well, is that they've, of course, had their revenue stream so badly affected by lack of visitor numbers during some of those essential times, especially during the beginning of lockdown. So they're trying to catch up, but they're still providing an amazing opportunity, as we said earlier, that green health, that sense of open space, a bit of freedom, a bit of just getting out and about, and perhaps even reconnecting with nature, especially if it's a place you didn't know about before.
I am so envious. It is such a stunning setting that you are in this morning, John, and you are only adding to its beauty.
It does look wonderful, doesn't it? That shot of the drone.